4 months down the road, I did a home A1C check, and it came back as 5.0. Cholesterol, when I was 250 pounds, was 250. Ended up losing about 80 pounds. My cholesterol was 160. I just absolutely couldn't believe it when I looked down on the scale here and I went below 170. Came to Mastering Diabetes last year. 11 years ago, I was in really good physical condition and very happy with myself that I was doing so well. And I was eating a whole food plant-based diet at the time. And then something happened to throw me off track. And what happened, actually, you can see a picture right up there of 3 little border collies. I got a border collie puppy, and a friend of mine down in Red Bluff has a 1,000-acre cattle ranch. And I went down there, and he knew how to train dogs. So I got very into training border collies for about 4.5 or 5 years. I was almost living on the ranch and eating ranch food. And my weight ballooned up to just under 250 pounds. I'm a 5'7" man. That's too heavy if you do the math on it. And I was feeling terrible. Then my friend up and moved to another state, and I didn't have any place to train my dogs anymore. And I came home and was sort of licking my wounds that my health was so bad. And I had a really difficult time getting back on a good, healthy diet, the kind of diet that I like to eat, which is a whole food plant-based diet, low in fat. And what I found that I was missing is what I found in Mastering Diabetes. I didn't really have a community of people that were like-minded that I could share with. Found the community that I was missing, the support that I didn't have. In fact, going back to Dr. Dean Ornish's course, which was the original program that I used back in 1999, Dr. Ornish had 4 pillars to his course, and one of them, the ones that he said was the most important, number one thing, was a support group. And I kind of blew that off. I can do any kind of diet. I'm my own man. I don't need a support group. Well, it just turns out years later, I really did, because I'd made a whole bunch of new friends, and all my new friends were all cattle people. And I needed to have the support from people who believed in eating the way that I like to eat. What else happened to me along the way is I ended up in a neurologist's office because I was having trouble with my spine, degenerative disc disease, and they're trying to determine how much nerve damage I had from my neck versus how much of it might be caused by something else. The neurologist told me afterwards, he said, most of your problem is polyneuropathy. Polyneuropathy, I asked him, that's a surprise to me. I wasn't expecting it. What causes it? He said about 40% of the times it's diabetes. And that put the bug into my ear. And I got to thinking back a little while back, I had a doctor who had since retired that had given me a blood glucose meter, but he didn't really tell me what to do with it. So I played around with that for a little while. So I had it in the back of my mind that I might be diabetic. I did my first A1C check ever. I didn't know what an A1C check was. I found out from Mastering Diabetes what an A1C check was. And I told my doctor I wanted a full lipid panel. I wanted a diabetic panel that included an A1C test, morning fasting blood glucose. And I told him I already had a meter because I bought one. And so my A1C came back after 3 months of being totally compliant in the Mastering Diabetes program at 5.6. Now, 5.7, I believe, is the cutoff for going pre-diabetes. At 5.6, I knew the results that other people were having. I figured I had to have been higher than 5.6. How much higher? I didn't know. It was a guess. So I'd been calling myself a pre-diabetic the whole time, and I've been trying to treat myself like I'm a diabetic. like I'm a type 2 diabetic. Probably another 4 months down the road, I did a home A1C check, and it came back as 5.0, indicated that I was still making good progress moving forward with my diabetes. Cholesterol, when I was 250 pounds, was 250. And then as I lost a whole bunch of weight, I ended up losing about 80 pounds. At about 170 pounds, 175 pounds is probably when I saw my doctor the last time. We did my new labs, and my cholesterol was 160. And I'd lost this ridiculous amount of weight. Right now, I'm 169 pounds, just under 170. So I've lost a little over 80 pounds in this journey. I just absolutely couldn't believe it when I looked down on the scale here and I went below 170. I couldn't believe it when I went below 200, but I went below 170. And that was, I actually had set 180 as my goal. So 170 that's very close to my high school weight. I actually started shopping for clothes again. I have not done that for so many years. It's ridiculous. I went to my very first ever high school reunion, 50 years, and I'd never been to one. And I went to my high school reunion and did something that I swore nobody would get me to do ever again in my life. I danced. So it was like totally awesome, and had a great time at my high school reunion. And I wasn't embarrassed at my looks or anything like that, because my weight was very close to where it should be. And of course, I noticed how everyone else looked, and time does take its toll on people that don't take care of their health. And I have a regular 3-day-a-week workout routine in the gym, sometimes 4. And I try to ride my bicycle on the in-between days. I like to get, this might be more than what a lot of people need, but I like to get about an hour and a half of exercise a day if I can. I can do that now. And a year ago, I couldn't do it. There'd be no way. If I want to snack, I always have lots of bananas. I don't go to the gym unless I take a banana or 2 with me. I do take dates. In the beginning, I knew people were taking dates for hypo problems. I've never had a hypo, so it wasn't an issue with me. But I thought to myself, well, maybe I need a little bit of energy. And 15 grams of energy is 15 grams of energy, and it's healthy energy. For lunch, I try to have beans and greens, or just beans or just greens, and almost every day mushrooms. I knew about mushrooms before I went on this program, but I thought mushrooms were a variety of food. I didn't know that there were 500 different varieties of mushrooms, and I've gotten to where I've experienced a great many of them. So I have mushrooms on my salad almost every day. Romaine is my preferred lettuce. I do put sometimes I will steam some kale and put it on there. I like to include broccoli or cauliflower in Brussels sprouts, the dark leafy green vegetables, because of their benefit to human health. And then later on in the afternoon, I may have another salad. During the baseball season, I'm watching baseball every night. So I do a little bit more snacking, and I like to have lots of grapes around for something like that. No hot dogs and popcorn for me. Or maybe some cut up raw veggies, cauliflower and broccoli and that kind of thing. But I do like my Johannes ice cream maker as well. And I'll cut up a bunch of blueberries with strawberries and run a banana and a half through the Johannes, and have what for me is better than ice cream. I mean, it tastes better. I don't think I could eat a spoon of ice cream anymore. I just don't think I could do it. I'm almost at the 1-year mark, and I just can't quit my support group. So I've joined up for another year. I want to have you guys around to keep me on track. And also, I can be a little opinionated, and I like to put my opinions out there on the Facebook page occasionally too, for people to to take a look at. And so it's just a really, really fun group to be involved with. I've enjoyed it immensely. If anybody is thinking about getting into this program or staying in the program, I strongly encourage you to do it. And the best advice I can give is to go through the course material one lesson at a time. Take your health into your own hands. That's the most important message that I can ever give to anybody is nobody's going to get healthy for you unless you want to get healthy.